No, we don't. And it doesn't matter if he was a murderer, John.
It doesn't matter if he was a murderer.
It doesn't matter if he was a murderer.
If he wasn't a Marine, would you still care as much about the situation? Would you still be talking about this?
I think you know me better than that.
No, you know what? Because I think a lot of people, if you change the circumstance of the situation, you take out the fact that he was a Marine and an Iraq War vet, and people don't care nearly as much about this anymore.
You said you read my Facebook stuff. Go on, find me on Facebook. Read my most recent note. It's a note. My third sentence, it makes no difference if the victim was a Marine or a Marine biologist.
Well, you know what? I respect your opinion, and I believe that you believe that is the case, but unfortunately, I think that there's too many people out there that are jumping on board this to try to push their own agendas, okay? And the reason why they care is because he was a Marine and an Iraq War vet, and they're jumping to conclusions, and it started to really, really get upscaled when you used the Pima County GOP and their mass email list to go and ask people to come to this event to try to push this issue. I didn't want to talk about it until I got this. And I only started to when I started to get email after email from individuals who were forwarding me this email that you sent out that I got as well, and were responding to it, that were outraged over this, that are reading your Facebook page. You are in a position of leadership with the Pima County GOP.
Yes, and I could think of no more honorable thing to lead.
Well, you know what? It'll be interesting to see what the other members of the GOP have to say in regards to all this, because I really feel like you're doing the party a massive disservice, because people are jumping to conclusions and rushing to judgment based off of your email, and you're using the GOP to try to make your stand on this issue, and I think it's wrong. I really do, and I think it's really unfortunate.
I know you're going to think that, but I'll say this. The massive disservice has been done to Vanessa Lorena and her 2 children and the rule of law, and I have no problem with me, with the Pima County GOP. Listen,
how can you say that without knowing the facts? How can you say that a disservice was done to the family and the kids without knowing the facts of why the law enforcement went there and did what they did? It's unfortunate that she is without that the kids are without their dad and she's without a husband. I get that, but how can you
disservice. And I will never apologize for me or any organization of which I'm a part of standing up to talk about the Constitution, the rule of law, and limited government individual rights.
I don't think you should have done it on your own time. You should have done it on your own time.
Okay, well maybe
you're doing the Pima County GOP a disservice.
What you're arguing is the Pima County GOP has no room to discuss principle and policy.
No, they absolutely do.
That's what you just said. You said do it on my own time. You don't think local Republicans have enough acumen to digest this kind of stuff? Look at something critically? I think they do. In fact, I got word from someone on my board. He said, Brian, when you started, he says, I didn't know anything about all this larger issue. He said, when you started saying something about it, I started doing research. He said, my eyes have been open. He says, you are not only right, but you're courageous to do this, and I stand behind you.
And I say that you use the Pima County GOP to push an agenda that you have a hard time with, that you have a problem with. Okay, but right or wrong, you have.
It's a conservative agenda, John.
Look. I'm not talking about the issue of militarized police invading homes privately. Okay, what I'm talking about is that you use an event that you don't have all the facts over. Okay, to push another issue, and you use the Pima County GOP email list to go and push that issue by attaching it to another event that we don't have all the facts over, and this is causing individuals to rush to judgment. They've called the show, demonized our local law enforcement when we don't know all the facts. We just don't. We don't know whether or not they used excessive force. We don't know whether or not Jose Guerrero was right or wrong or is innocent or guilty in what they were going and investigating him over. But you piggybacked it because you have an issue with this militarization of police and SWAT going into homes. You used the Pima County GOP email list to push it on this event, and I think it's completely unjustified.
Fair enough. I think the raid on what are in your home is unjustified.
All right. Is boards on now, or are we in commercial break? We got to go to commercials first. All right. Brian Miller, I want to thank you for coming on, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for taking some extra time out and letting us go into Neil today. The John Justice Show will be back tomorrow. It continues on Facebook.